Abdulaev with a big start in the 6th. Blocked Cotto with a left hook. Punch combination by Cotto. Reestablishes himself in the round. 2 minutes to go. Grueling fight in the offing. We're only in the 6th, and already both fighters are taking a lot of punishment.
I like to open it up more, because once he opens up more, he's leaving himself open a little bit for Cotto to land punches.
Makes it more of an action fight.
Yeah, right there he got caught with a jab while he was throwing the wide left hook. Because so far, for the most part, Cotto did all of the work. He's throwing about 4 times as many punches as Abdulaev is doing, and only landing around about probably 25%.
Miguel Cotto having to move on his feet, having to respond to pressure, being put in positions that he has not been in his early rise towards superstardom. Tremendous test for the rising prospect tonight. And he has to do it in front of an adoring crowd on the night before he's supposed to be the Grand Marshal in the Puerto Rican Day Parade. He might be using makeup to look good tomorrow.
Well, this is what, when he had a few fights back, I remember Larry was saying that these are the type of fights that's going to help develop him when he fights a tough fight. And this is a perfect example of that. You know, this is one of the most grueling fights I've saw a young fighter fight in a long time. And the fight is only halfway over. And it's going to be a really, really tough road for him to go 6 more rounds at the pace that this guy's pushing on him.
Having to move all the time, because every time he stops, he gets subjected to that. June 18th, it's an HBO Sports special. Ray Romano and Kevin James making the cut. Follow both comedians as they turn serious, trying to make the Pebble Beach Pro-Am final cut. Well, maybe not all that serious. Making the cut, Saturday, June 18, 9 Eastern.
You have to put more pressure on him with your left hand. More and more pressure.
He doesn't know when you lead. He doesn't know what to do when you lead.
Six rounds in the books. We go to the second half of the fight. Unbeaten Miguel Cotto against once beaten Mohamad Abdulaev in what has turned into a brutal body puncher's test. Harold Letterman, how do you have it?
Okay, Jim, 59-55, 5 rounds to 1, Miguel Cotto. Jim, I got to tell you something. Number one, I wouldn't pay Johnny Callis, the referee, because I haven't seen one clinch in this fight yet. I mean, it's incredible. They're just banging on each other. Secondly, the reason that Mohamad Abdulaev isn't hitting Miguel Cotto that well is because Miguel Cotto's not standing right in front of him. He's moving, he's landing good shots, and he's moving again. And as long as he keeps moving, Abdulaev has a hard time getting a good shot on him.
Abdulaev's face is beginning to show some of the effect of all the combat here, as he has a bruise above his eye, and you saw Cotto there momentarily switch to a southpaw stance. Is he going to go back to conventional? Now he is. We told you that in 3 of the 4 Olympic rounds, he switched southpaw. Let's see if he's going to do it down the stretch here. switched southpaw in Sydney, it was after Abdulaev had clearly won the first round. Maybe Miguel feels like he's more in control here tonight. But it's hard to be in control when you're the one who's being pressured all the time. Good four-punch response by Miguel Cotto there.
Cotto just did what I can recall Sugar Ray Leonard doing all the time. Get a punch, a stiff punch, and instantly come back with something so that the judges and the crowd can't sit there thinking about that punch.
I think he's doing a wonderful job right now, considering everything. Boxing good. He realized he's fighting a guy that's very difficult to open up to get a clean punch. So he's just trying to do enough to get the points ahead and looking forward to winning the decision.
We're going to learn how well conditioned he is.
Yeah,
we're going to see whether he can maintain all this movement down to the final bell.
It's going to be an ultimate test tonight.
Because Abdulaev is here to go 12, it would appear, and isn't going to stop pressuring.
But Abdulaev's coming in, but he's not coming in with that much fast pressure himself. He's kind of slowed down a little bit also. That's the way he should continue to box.
Very good round for Miguel Cotto.
Come on, breathe. Breathe. Again. Come on, breathe, breathe.
You have to work more, put more pressure on him. Use your left hand again, and then your right uppercut.
Go, seconds out, seconds out.
Round 8 begins with Mohamad Abdulaev overshooting a right hand. And Miguel Cotto continues to bounce and move on his feet. Cotto's better footwork and busier hands seemingly winning the fight for him. But it's a slippery slope against the relentless pressure of Mohamad Abdulaev. Emmanuel, early in the fight, you seem to think that Abdulaev was going to wear Cotto down.
Yeah,
Are you impressed with what Miguel has done?
I think Miguel is fighting very good now. He's boxing good, fighting in spots, and not necessarily going for a big knockout. He's just doing exactly what he should do to win this decision. Landing punches and moving away and changing directions back and forth.
Yeah, somewhere along the way you realize that you're in there with a guy not going to go. That no matter what you hit him with on this night, this guy is just not going to go down. And you've got to adjust your thinking accordingly.
I think the fight when he fought Nadir Lovemore was a very difficult fight like this, which I thought was a very good development fight. He went to the whole 10 or 12 rounds, but he had to do something similar to this. And I think without having those type of fights, he would not have been able to hold up, I don't think, at this stage the way he has.
He got hit with some straight right hands that night, too.
Yes.
Vicious left hook to the body by Cotto, as Abdulaev has cranked it up and rallied a couple times in this round, and Cotto seems cognizant of the need to do something to blunt Abdulaev's